We are back up and running with the 300 finally today. It was 2 full days basically of taking this tank completely apart, down to the point of literally drying everything and starting over. So starting off with the tank real quick, I replaced every grain of sand. I vacuumed it out with a shop vac, got all the old sand out, and put new sand in. 150 pounds of black diamond sand. I think it looks really good. I did not put the ground rocks back in. That's the only thing I didn't put back in here. So it's just the 3D background with just the sand, no rocks. I like the look of it. Tell me what you guys think. Sorry for the glare. A lot more swimming room, of course, without the rocks, and there's no more dead spots without the rocks. It's bright and sunny in this room, but all the guys look really good. The colors are looking really nice. The water is still cloudy, obviously. I changed 100% of the water. I cleaned all the overflows. I actually made my own overflow piping, both the drain and the return. I will make another video on that because there's a lot that went into that actually. And you can kind of see the return now, the white PVC for right now, until I get, I'm either gonna get black or a dark gray. Right here, these guys, the returns, so you can't see them, they just blend in. But for now, temporarily, we'll have the white. Anyways, so everything else, the sump, power panel there, and the sump was also completely cleaned out. It looks brand new now, pretty much, except for the media. All the media was saved. I washed it out with tank water, got all the crap and junk out of it. But I'm going to stick with using the filter sock just because it does such a good job. Might be a pain in the butt to clean sometimes, but I had a ton of them, so this is what I'm working with now, guys. I got a lot of new filter pads, port foam, a lot of the stuff in here. And then of course the K1. And then this section is my return section right here. But I have just heaters in the main pump, 2 heaters in the main pump in there. But then I put all this media and just a couple random port foam pads there just to keep the beneficial bacteria going, because I'm going to be setting up at least one more tank, if not 2 more tanks next week. Some point, maybe even over the weekend, I'll be starting. I'm going to be setting up at least a 120, and we'll see what else. I have a 40-gallon quarantine tank going downstairs in the basement. Can also set up another 120, and possibly another tank on top of that. So once I do that, I'll probably take this filter media out and put it in those tanks. So as far as the aquaponics system right now is turned off still. I'm trying to decide what to do with that. I have a bunch more plants that I can put in here, which I might go ahead and do. I just don't know if that was my problem or part of my problem that I had with this tank, so I'm kind of reluctant to do that at this point. But anyways, here is the 300 back up and running. Everything looks great. So far so good. And I'm going to be making a couple more videos because there's a couple things I want to talk about. One of which, I think I'm done chasing water parameters. My fish seem to be happy with what comes out of my tap as is. And I noticed there's definitely issues that arise when I go chasing water parameters, because you should never chase water parameters, of course. But I think at this point I should just leave it what it comes out of the tap at, which the numbers are very low. My pH is only 7.2 out of the tap, and KH is only 2, and GH is only 3 or so. So the numbers are very low. But that being said, these fish are very adaptable, and they seem to be the happiest and brightest colors when I don't mess with the water, I just put it straight out of the tap into the tank, a little bit of prime, and that's it. So I think I need to just go back to basics and stick what works for me, stick what works for my tank, which just happens to be water straight out of the tap without messing with it. That's when I noticed, when I started adding salts and whatnot, that's when I started noticing the bloat and everything else, to which I come to find out after doing tons and tons of research, chasing water parameters and adding salts, whether it's aquarium salt or, you know, the lake salts or whatever. It could cause that to happen. I've come to find out, to my surprise. But anyways, so far so good. And there's a couple other things I'm going to be doing to the tank, just little improvements that I've been making some videos on, but so far so good. The other big thing, or the biggest thing I noticed actually, I am having absolutely no flashing. I put the fish in the tank yesterday. No one at all is flashing anymore, which is really cool because that was a big problem I was having. So anyways, there's about 7 or 8 fish downstairs in the quarantine tank, so you can see that there are not as many fish in this tank. When I do set up the new tank, some of these guys are going to be coming out as well. So I like the idea of having more fish in the tank for the aggression, or I should say to keep the aggression down. But I don't know, I definitely like the look better of having less fish, less clutter in the tank. So that being said, we're going to take a handful of fish out of here and put them into the second tank. So probably just keep my the most favorite ones I have in here. So anyways, that's it for now. More to follow. Thanks.